Hey everybody, this is Dr. Maples. Today I want to talk about graduate school. When students come to me and say, Dr. Maples, should I go to graduate school? I give them the brutal truth. Graduate school can be one of the most amazing experiences in your life, but it changes you forever. It changes how your brain functions. It changes how you think. It changes your relationships, your friendships, everything that's happening in your world, especially if you're going for advanced degrees like PhDs. Graduate school is not a decision to take lightly. In fact, what I want to do today is give you 5 great reasons to go to graduate school and 5 absolutely terrible do not go to graduate school reasons. Now, before we begin, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to this channel, and if you could also share this with your student colleagues, that sure would be nice. I would love to get this information to them to make their college experience just a little bit easier than mine was. All right, we got some graduate school stuff to talk about today, so let's get started. Now, I want to start with the 5 reasons why we should go to graduate school. And the first one and the most important one is that you are set on a specific job that requires an advanced degree. You've done your research on this job, and that is the job that you want. In this situation, graduate school isn't a choice, it's a necessity. Let's say that you want to be a professor or a researcher. Getting that PhD or master's may be a specific requirement for the job that you're looking for. More importantly, at this stage, you should have done your research on this job. Understand what the pay is, understand what the experiences are like, what the market and the prospectus looks like for this job. Is it growing? Is it shrinking? At this stage, if you're set on that job and you're saying, I want to be an attorney, you need to know everything that there is about being an attorney and make sure this is the job for you. And if you're set on it, then we got to get started and apply to graduate school. And I've got a whole separate set of videos that are going to pop up in the near future that are just for helping you prepare for graduate school. Now, the second thing is that you may be in a current job and getting a graduate degree will actually help you get promotions. This is really common. Even jobs like education, you'll see where maybe if you have a bachelor's degree, to get a leadership job, you might need a master's degree. So this is another great reason to go back to graduate school. Now, I will say, if you're one of those people lucky enough to be working for a college or university, they'll often pay for your tuition. Even some companies out there in the world will also pay for your tuition or even reimburse a small portion of it. So if you're thinking about that, do check and see if that's an option for you. The third one is that you are set on having a graduate college experience. You want this knowledge, and regardless of jobs or other things out there, you want this experience. In this situation, you're the one who has set the terms that say you need to go to graduate school. You've decided under no other conditions that you're going to do this. And that's fine. I meet people like this that just love education and want to learn more, and the results be danged. And that's okay. It's perfectly fine. If that's a good reason for you, then that's a good reason for me to say, do it, go to graduate school. The fourth one is that you're in a situation where maybe you've applied for graduate school and you're fully funded or even you're mostly funded, or you expect that taking on this tuition wouldn't be a huge burden for you to finish up, say, a master's degree. You know, this is one of those scenarios where if you can go to graduate school for free, it kind of behooves you to do that. Take advantage of this really cool opportunity that you've been given and use it. That's perfectly fine to do that. If you don't have this, or if you're in a situation where you're going to have to pay for graduate school and it's going to be very difficult for you to pay back those student loans in the future, strongly reconsider going to graduate school. Go into the labor market instead. Finally, and this is a rare one, but there might be a scenario where going to graduate school is the only way that you can get a particular career skill that you need, or a job skill, or some kind of training in a particular software. And so you go to graduate school solely for the purpose that you'll get this experience and training. This isn't common, but it does sometimes happen in the tech world and even in the research world. If this is a good reason for you to do this, and that's the absolute only way to get that information, then this can also be a good reason to go to graduate school. More likely a good reason to get a master's degree, which is a 2-year experience, than getting a PhD, which can be many, many more years. 5 great reasons. Now what I want to do is switch over to 5 terrible reasons. And these are all reasons that I hear on a regular basis, so we got to make sure that they aren't your reason for going to graduate school. So we gave you 5 great reasons for going to graduate school. Now I want to flip over and give you 5 terrible reasons for going to graduate school. And I'm afraid to say these 5 reasons that are so bad, they're probably the most common ones that I hear. The first one is that my parents, my spouse, my family want me to go to graduate school, or they expect me to go to graduate school. I respect that families can put a lot of pressure on you. In fact, sociologists are very fascinated in studying this very idea. The problem is they're not the ones that have to do the work. They're not the ones that have to live through a changing experience that will literally change who you are. You have to find your path, whatever it is, and you have to pursue it. And it doesn't have anything to do with your family in the end. Second, I'm going to graduate school because I'm smart. Oh boy, this is setting you up for a world of hurt. I'm here to tell you that graduate school is hard. It is a difficult experience, and it is intentionally difficult. And smarts is not what determines success in graduate school. I have seen far, far too many people who are far more intelligent than I was drop out of my program and not finish their degrees. Why? Smarts isn't what it's about. It's about being able to get the tasks done, go through the motions, do the things that are required of you, and do it with a smile. As such, being smart or even having a great GPA, these are not great reasons to go to graduate school. Third common reason, well, I don't know what else I want to do, so I guess I'll go to graduate school. That's a horrible reason. In fact, what you need to do is probably get some lived experience. You need to hit the labor market, or if you can afford it, take a year off and go figuring out what it is that you are fascinated about in this world. And then when you get back from that, start pursuing it. Now, I will say, as someone who has a lot of experience in the labor market pre-college, being in the labor market can really help you understand why you might want to get a graduate degree and find some ways to maybe move up in your company or have other opportunities or leave that industry altogether. But just going into graduate school because you don't know what you want to do, that is a horrible idea. In fact, what that does is sets you up for finishing your first year of your program, having a whole bunch of student debt, and then still having exactly the same degree that you started with. Reason number 4, I don't like my current job, so I'm going to go to graduate school. This is also, it seems like a good idea, but it's actually not. What really needs to happen here is you need to make a real, truthful, brutal assessment of why you don't like your job, see if you need to be moving into a different industry or a different sector, and figure out from there what it is that you need to do. Now, graduate school may be part of that, and this could be one of the 5 reasons why you need to go to graduate school. But just saying, I don't like my job, so I'm going to go to graduate school, that is a bad reason. And again, that's just setting you up for failure. In fact, I see a lot of cases like this where students who leave their jobs just because they hate them and then they go to graduate school, they usually end up flunking out or leaving graduate school without their degree. Finally, and I don't even get where this myth comes from, but I hear it all the time. Well, Dr. Maples, it would be easier for me to apply to graduate school than to apply to the labor market. No, that's ridiculous. That is a horrible idea. Applying to graduate school is a horrible experience. It is a whole bunch of fees and paperwork and letters and jumping through hoops and filling out forms and often disappointment when these people say, we don't want to accept you. As such, this is a bad reason to go to graduate school. You need to figure out a great reason why you would go. It is much easier to hit the labor market. All you need is a resume and a cover letter. In fact, I've got some videos up on just those very things. So these are 5 bad reasons to go to graduate school. If you got questions, if you got ideas for other videos, leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Take care, folks.